Hey everyone, it's Tara Hitchcock again talking about my favorite thing, the Health Wealth Raffle. We've been doing this for years, and honestly, this guy is really the reason that I'm even involved in this. Dr. Robert Spetzler. A lot of you obviously recognize him. You know what he does, how many lives he has saved, and he actually saved my stepson Dylan's life, gosh, about 2.5 years ago. So it's actually an excuse to come and see Dr. Spetzler and catch up. Thanks for joining us to talk about the raffle.
Tara, it's always a pleasure to have you here.
Not that you need $1 million. Do you actually play the raffle?
I can't.
Oh,
it's
that's
illegal.
Ah, darn it.
If I could, I would.
Well, let me ask you about, I know I do a lot of TV and radio interviews, and we talk about where the money goes, because one of the big questions is, where does all that money go? So research, training, 2 areas where the money from the raffle goes. Talk a little bit about the research first. You've been here for how many years now?
That's an embarrassing question. I came in 1983, so you have to do the math.
But talk about the advancements that you've seen.
Well, we started off fairly small. Our research budget back in 1983 was $20,000, $30,000. It is now in the neighborhood of $10 million a year.
Wow.
And we've made a lot of inroads. We have devised new routes into the brain that were just not conceived prior to that. That allowed us to operate on lesions inside the brain that just couldn't be addressed beforehand with very good results. And then once you learn something like this, you really teach it, and you teach it to your residents, you teach it to your colleagues, and then you teach it to the world. And that's really what the B&I is about. And
people literally from all over the world come here not only for the care, but to get trained. How many neurosurgeons do you deal with on a yearly basis?
We have the largest training program in the country. That means four very fortunate medical students get picked each year to join our residency program. And that residency program is 7 years long. That makes 28 residents a year that we have here that are training in this very, very special area of dealing with the brain and the spinal cord.
You know, it's interesting. I feel so grateful when Dylan had his brain hemorrhage. A, we were here. B, this place is in our backyard. And I was always amazed. We met a lot of different families that came in. I could almost tell, I know that there are good doctors in other places, but you could almost tell if they started here or started somewhere else and then came here. Everyone knows this place. I mean, are you constantly amazed when you travel, people know all about Barrow Neurological Institute in St. Joe's?
Yeah, it is true. We do get patients from around the world. In fact, when I'm thinking back, last year we had this young Norwegian nurse who was given the sentence of being paralyzed from the neck down. We had actually, with money from like the raffle, done research that allowed us to treat her lesion in the spinal cord, and she has an absolutely perfect expected life expectancy.
Really?
Yeah.
What does it feel like to save a life, honestly? I know you can't connect with every patient you save, but to see them later, I don't even know what that must feel like.
Yeah, Tara, it's an absolutely wonderful feeling. But it's balanced out by the lives that we don't help. And that's really what raising money is for. It's to address those problems for which we don't yet have solutions.
We talked to the fall winner. He just won $1 million. In fact, his father-in-law went through surgery here and went through care here. What would you do if you won $1 million? Even though it's legal for you to play, apparently.
If I had $1 million, I'd donate them right back to the research, but I would.
Good answer, good answer. And then maybe take a trip to Jackson Hole here and there or ski. So Dr. Spetzler, again, I can't thank him enough. I joked about, what do you do for somebody who saves your loved one's life, maybe mow their lawn occasionally. The least I can do is sell raffle tickets. healthwealthraffle.org. One ticket is $100, but the deal of the century is the 3-pack. 3 for $250.
Can't do better than that.
Can't do better than that, unless you get the privilege of having this guy save someone that you love's life.